An advisor to the Trump 2020 campaign and personal attorney to the president is being mocked on social media. And it's because she posted pure cringe. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, I want to show you who he is. She is, sorry. Her name is Jenna Ellis. And she tweeted about how she was very concerned about the left, about Christianity being canceled. They're going to cancel Christianity. They're going to cancel Jesus. And then Christmas and all the wonderful things, probably Easter too. No, here's her tweet, right? And I'm kidding. Like, no, nobody's canceling Christianity. All right, but anyway, Ellis declared this in a tweet. I'm going on the record now. Well, okay, it's a tweet. You're on the record. If they try to cancel Christianity, if they try to force me to apologize or recant my faith, I will not bend. I will not waver. I will not break. On Christ, the solid rock, I stand, and I'm proud to be an American. You realize Jesus wasn't an American, right? Like, Jesus was a Middle Eastern Jew that lived in Palestine. I'm just saying, like, you do know that, right? Because you would be, I guess I was a little shocked at how much ignorance there is surrounding the far right and Jesus and Christianity. Like, they think that Jesus is some sort of MAGA hat wearing redneck with a rifle that, is shooting Antifas. Like, no, that's not a thing. And by the way, Jesus also not white. Just saying. I mean, somebody had to have trolled that tweet and said, "Man, this is a Wendy's." Yeah. Now Ellis, by the way, let me give you some background information about her. Now, she is somehow a constitutional law attorney. Now, why is that shocking to me? It's because she should know about a little something called the First Amendment if you're a constitutional law attorney. But not only that, but she is also an anti-LGBT crusader who wants to criminalize being gay. Yes. Again, for a constitutional attorney, she seems to have forgotten that we have a constitution that guarantees, of course, freedom of religion, religious freedom, right? So now who's trying to cancel our Christianity, right? Well, I think part of it has to do with some of the calls. And this was Sean King, who's like, hey, you know what? It wouldn't be a bad idea to tear down some of the anglicized Jesus statues, right? Why not? And the stained glass windows and all that stuff, right? That portray Jesus as a white person, right? Not as a Middle Eastern Jew. And so he says, look, that's ingrained in white supremacy, depicting Jesus as a white person who is not actually white. All right, look, that's a fair enough argument. That's certainly, look, I'm not a religious person, so I don't really have a dog in this fight. Sean King definitely is a religious person, so you could argue like, but that's the historical significance, and that's how they portrayed Jesus all the way, back into the Roman Empire. And so, or the 1500s or whatever you want to say. Okay, that's fair enough, right? But for me, I don't really care. You want to tear them down, tear them down. I'm going to build new ones that actually represent what Jesus is supposed to have looked like. That's fine. Again, I don't really care one way or the other, right? So it's that anglicized version, again, that doesn't actually represent real Christianity. Again, you would know that if you actually read the Bible and if you had actually, thought about, hey, what did people look like in that area over 2,000 years ago? And not only that, but I guess along the way, they might actually find out some other things about Jesus, like he was actually somebody who didn't own any possessions and said, if you want to walk with me, you should give away all your stuff to the poor. And you should render unto Caesar, which is Caesar's, which is basically pay your taxes, all that stuff. Oh, and also chasing the money changers out of the temple. That's another thing. And so, yeah, you find out some very interesting things about Jesus if you actually pay attention. But of course, right? That's just one of those things that they don't seem to pay attention to. All right. So now, anyway, let's go to Jenna, right? Back to Jenna. So now Jenna, I think is obvious that what she's doing is she knows better. I would like to think that she knows better because she is an educated person. So what she's doing is virtue signaling. Because what she wants to do is that she wants to basically whip up scared old people. And people who are, of course, very religious. And so the reason that you would do that, of course, is you whip people up and go, oh my God, I can't believe the left is trying to cancel Christianity and destroy it. Oh my God. When, of course, that's not the reality. But nothing gets in the way of a good scare, especially when it comes to something that is as deeply personal as your own religion. And so, now, that said, let me get to the mocking, because that's always the fun part. All right. So now, one person calls her a born-again Karen. Wants to see the manager, this entire thing. Another one says, wait, Christianity got canceled? Maybe they can get picked up by Netflix. Well, that's always interesting. Interesting thought. Maybe Netflix and Hulu can have a bidding war over who's going to get the rights to Christianity. Kidding, of course. All right. David Weissman says, I can't believe I got to say this to a lawyer because, Jenna, no religion is going anywhere because they are protected under the First Amendment of the Constitution, and you know that, so stop with the fear-mongering. Please. Betty Powers says, if you're an official enabler for a guy who constantly bears false witness, commits adultery, divorces, covets other men's wives, steals from charities, ignores the golden rule, and never asks God for forgiveness, you break that solid rock faith every day. Hypocrite. Donald Trump, probably the worst Christian to have ever attempted to Christian. International Man of Mystery says, Jenna's on a mission to defend something that no one is attacking. Also, if anyone tried to criticize her corrupt and unfaithful president, she's going to defend him, even if he hurts innocent people with his shitty policies, because that's what Jesus would want. Yes, Jesus would want you to have an AR-15 and to give giant tax cuts to corporations. Oh, wait. No, that's what Donald Trump would want. Come on. Devin Nunez Cow says, same with the Muslim faith. Yes. Hey, man, look, there is that double standard. I mean, if, Christians are able to practice their religion freely in the United States, why wouldn't Muslims be able to, or Orthodox Jews, or anyone like that? Oh, right, they are, because we have the First Amendment. There are right-wingers out there that seem to forget that the First Amendment applies to other religions, like Islam. They seem to forget that. Or like Sikhs, which they seem to get, they get confused from Muslims all the time. And then, of course, that ends up in hate attacks against Sikhs. Now, as of lately, Muslims haven't been targeted as much because now the hate crowd, the MAGA crowd, has moved on to attacking Chinese people. So horrible, man. It's amazing what blind ignorance and hatred gets you. But unfortunately, that's what a third of this country is just insane. Almost. All right. Anyway, another one says, Jesus was a radical lefty, Jenna. He hung with society's fringe dwellers, forsook material possessions, and confronted the money in the temple. He quit his job to join the resistance. He was a carpenter. So no, Christianity won't be canceled by anybody. Another one says, hey, the Cold War called and wants his boogeyman back. That's always fun. And then calling out his self-victimization and posing as brave in the face of fictional oppression is the ultimate privilege. It's a good comment. I like that. And then finally, the tween of God weighs in and says, Jenna, I thought long and hard about how to respond to this, and in the end, I think I came up with a beauty. Shut the fuck up. Can't argue with that one. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.